In the heart of London, where the winter wind bit sharpest, lived an old ticket porter named Trotty Veck. His world was small, defined by the cold stone steps of a church, where he waited for work, a morsel of tripe for his dinner, and the boundless love he had for his daughter, Meg. Every day, the great bells in the church tower, the chimes, would ring out, and Trotty believed they spoke to him, their iron tongues singing songs of hope or tolling warnings of the times. One New Year's Eve, the wind was particularly cruel. Trotty, shivering, read the newspapers filled with grim stories about the poor. It seemed the world saw people like him as a burden, born to be miserable. Even the kind words of Alderman Cute, a local magistrate, felt like a slap day. There's a great deal of nonsense talked about want, the alderman declared. Put it down, put it all down. He spoke of suppressing the desires and even the existence of the poor, leaving Trotty feeling smaller and more insignificant than ever. His spirits sank lower when his lovely daughter Meg arrived with her handsome fiancé, Richard, a young blacksmith. They had come with joyous news. They planned to marry on New Year's Day, but Trotty's heart ached. How could they bring a child into a world so harsh? He repeated the harsh words he'd heard, discouraging their happiness until Meg's bright eyes filled with tears and Richard's hopeful face fell. They left, their joy extinguished by his fear. Along and heartbroken, Trotty returned to the church steps as midnight approached. The chimes began to ring, not with their usual melody, but with a wild, clanging chaos that seemed to pull him upward, into the bell tower itself. There, surrounded by the swirling spectral figures of goblins and spirits of the bells, he was confronted by the spirit of the great bell. The spirit accused him of losing faith in humanity and declared that Trotty had fallen from the tower and died. To teach him a lesson, the spirit would show him the future that might unfold for his loved ones, a future shaped by his own despair. The visions were horrifying. He saw Richard, broken by poverty and grief. Turning to drink, he witnessed Meg, her spirit crushed, struggling alone to raise her child in a squalid room, her life a constant battle against starvation and despair. He saw their friends, Will Fern and his orphaned niece Lillian, dragged through the depths of degradation and crime by an unforgiving society. In one terrible scene after another, Trotty watched as the people he cared for were put down, their lives extinguished by the very hopelessness he had preached. The final vision was the most devastating. His own daughter Meg, driven to the brink, standing on the edge of a river with her baby, ready to end their suffering in the icy water. "No, no," Trotty cried out, his soul tearing apart. "No, I didn't know. I never dreamed of this. Let me go back. Let me tell her how much I love her." He fought against the vision, reaching for his daughter, his heart screaming with regret and love. He had to undo his terrible mistake. He had to show them the hope he had so carelessly thrown away. And then he awoke. He was not in the ghostly belfry, but at the foot of the tower, tangled in the bell ropes. The New Year's chimes were ringing, not with chaos, but with a glorious, joyful peal. It was all a dream, a terrible, vivid dream. In the doorway of his humble home stood Meg, radiant, with Richard by her side. Friends gathered, their faces filled with the simple, powerful warmth of the season. They were all there, safe and full of hope. Trotty ran to his daughter, hugging her tightly, his tears now of pure joy. The future was not written in stone. It was a blank page, waiting to be filled not with despair, but with love, kindness, and the enduring belief that every life, no matter how humble, has a right to its own small share of happiness. The chimes rang on, and this time, Trotty Veck heard their true message loud and clear. A song of hope for the new year.